Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Does Boxing. We're back again with another rankings video. This time we got the WBC rankings. It just came out. So, hold on. So we're going to touch on that. Salute to everybody coming through the building. I appreciate the time. Y'all know how we get down with these rankings. So we're going to do a screen share and see what we got for sure. And then we're going to, of course, y'all know we're going to talk about the biggest news in these rankings with the WBC stripping Shakur Stevenson. We're going to talk about that. Y'all know how we build up to it. All right. Heavyweight division. We got Alexander Usyk, unified champion. We don't know what he's going to do next. I know he was talking about fighting Deontay. That fight fell apart. Maybe he'll get the winner. Or maybe if Deontay beats Chisora, maybe they can do that fight next. I don't know. But I like to see Usyk active because there's some good fights for him. Like the Kabayel fight, that's the fight right there. Y'all see Kabayel as the interim champion. I think that's a huge fight. In Germany, after seeing what Kabayel did with his last opponent last month with Kimba, man, that shit was rocking out there in Germany. And I'm pretty sure if they put in a soccer stadium, it'll go crazy. So, yeah, Usyk and Kabayel, that's the one. That's a good one. Lawrence Okola is number one. He's trying to fight Kabayel, but I'm not sure if that's going to get done. Daniel Dubois look like he's in talks with Zhilei Zhang. That's going to be a fire fight right there if that fight happens. Moses Otama will be back March 28th against Jermaine Franklin. That fight got rescheduled. Philip Herkovic, he's on the list to possibly get the Fabio Wally fight in April or May. Haven't heard much on Bakoli. F.A. Ajaba is going to fight next Sunday. He's going to fight Charles Martin, former world champion. So y'all tap in with that. That's Zuffa Boxing. Richard Torres is fighting Frank Sanchez. It's looking like it's going to be on the front door and Thurman card March the 28th. So that should be a good fight, though. It's a test for Torres. Sanchez, if his knee is okay, that's a pretty solid fight, tough fight. And then Deontay and Chisora, they're going to fight April the 4th. They just did their media rounds, and they're going to get back in training. So that's what it is. Heavyweight division. There's a lot of stuff that can happen. A lot of willing and dealing. Yeah, so we'll see. But I want to see Usyk versus Kabayel. That's the one. Bridgerweight, Kevin Lerena is supposed to fight Krzysztof Wojcik, but I don't know. This division is kind of, like I said, every time I get here, it's kind of, obsolete. So we're going to keep it pushing. Ain't really nothing to talk about there. Those guys not fighting each other, so there's really nothing going on. Cruiserweight, we got Noel McCallan as a WBC champion. He just won the title in December against Badu Jack. Looked like he put Badu in retirement. So I seen him and Jabataya face off. I'm not sure how that's going to work. Y'all know Zuffa Boxing ain't messing with the WBC. You know what I'm saying? Clearly. And plus, Noel McCallan is signed to Don King. So ain't no fight easy to make with Don King. I don't care what nobody say. So Obatiah and McCallan unification seems like in the distance. Michael Sislak is the interim champion. He might get a crack at Noel McCallan next. Ryan Rosicki is number one. They got like a little mini tournament going on to decide who is the next mandatory. And, it's been a lot of drama with the WBC, cruiserweight ranking. So we'll see what's up. So Peralta, he got a fight coming up too. CBS is a former world champion, but he's a free agent. Haven't heard much on him. Massanet is in line to face Vidal Riley, and it's looking like it's going to be on the Deontay and Chisora card. That's going to be good because Riley just signed with MF Pro Misfits, so he should be making his debut with them on that card in the UK. Brandon Glanton is going to fight Jabataya. That's, like I mentioned before, that's going to be a fun fight. Like, Brandon Glanton ain't never in a boring fight, and Jabataya not either. They're going to be thumping up in there. Who else? We got? Junior Elise. He's supposed to face Mike Perez. I see F.A. Apoche is a new entry. Yeah, let's see if they can get him somebody good for FA Poche. He's a tough, big puncher, but he came up short a couple of times. But he's a strong fighter. All right, light heavyweight. David Benavidez is moving up to cruiserweight to fight Zerto Ramirez coming up May the 2nd. Marlon Prince, what's good with you, bro? Any truth to Elijah J return? Maybe. I mean, I can see it. I can see that happening. I haven't heard. I haven't heard nothing on it, but I can see it. I can definitely see it. Yeah, Benavidez is going up. He's a WC and WBA regular champion, and that fight when him and Zerto should be pretty solid. Cinco de Mayo. So there's a lot of questions on both parts in that fight. Zerto coming off a shoulder injury, and Benavidez moving up 25 pounds to face Zerto. So that's gonna be interesting. Arthur Beterbiev, he's number one. The word on him is him and Bivol is supposed to share a card sometime in May. Bivol will face Michael Eifert, his IBF mandatory. So I'm not sure who Beterbiev will fight. He's a free agent as well. So maybe he fight Bawaxi or somebody. I don't know. However they're gonna set that up. And then if both guys win, they're gonna do the trilogy later on in the year. But Waxy, and he's not look. But Waxy might fight a WC eliminator because Ben Whitaker turned it down. Ben Whitaker turned it down to do something else. He's gonna fight. He's supposed to fight in the States in a couple of months on Boost in his undercard. So yeah, David Morrell, him and Callum Smith reached the deal. They're gonna fight for the WO interim title. That's a good fight. I like Katiev. He should have got the decision over Morrell. Harad Kalajic, look, he moved up to number 6, coming off that win, that come from behind win over Alexander Volchik. That was a big win for him. But him being in these rankings probably don't make sense because he's with Zuffa Boxing. It seems like Willie Hutchinson, he's going to reschedule his fight with Ezra Taylor. That's March 28th. That's a good one. Now I think he's fighting tomorrow. The light heavyweight. He's fighting tomorrow in Canada. Craig Richards, he might be an opponent for Ben Whitaker sometime next year. Excuse me, sometimes this year. Maybe later in the year, like the late summer or maybe the fall. Najee Lopez got a fight day. I seen that. He's gonna face. Damn, what's the kid's name? I just seen it. But Najee Lopez is gonna face the guy who beat Khalil Gallegos. Yeah, Gallegos. So yeah, I like Najee Lopez. So he'll up and coming light heavyweight. Salute to him. All right, super middleweight. We have a new champion. Christian and Billy got elevated. It's I hope Ammo gets a first crack at a dominance when he's ready. Yeah, look like Eddie gonna get him an opportunity for sure. Hope so too. Yeah, Christian and Billy. Yeah, new champion. Not sure who he gonna fight next, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna get a fight in Canada, make a defense against one of these guys in the top 15. So let's see who he choose and who will accept the fight. Zuffa got something cooking with WBC. Probably not. I don't think they messing with each other. Z Pacino, what's good with you, bro? Salute to you.
Fair enough. Sometimes the vibes.
Appreciate you, bro, coming through the building. And I don't think Zuffa Boxing and WBC is rocking together like that. I don't know. Canelo number 1. Hamza Shiraz is fighting for the vacant WBO. Look like they said May. So let's see. Lester Martinez, number 3. I want to see Lester Martinez and Billy run that back. Jacob Bank, he jumped up to number 4. That's interesting because he was looking like he was going down the WBO route, but they chose another opponent for Hamza Shiraz. So maybe he take that route, maybe he have another fight. But I think Jacob Bank might be fighting for a world title sometime this year. He's real close. He just stopped William Skull in the 12th round last weekend too. Pacheco, I don't know what he's doing. He turned down the vacant title shot, WBO vacant title shot against Shiraz, trying to get his team together. Jaime Munguia, he trying to fight Resendez. They in negotiations per se. We're gonna see what's gonna happen with that. excuse me. I can see number 7, Luca Planet. I can see him fighting in Billy. I can see that. I definitely can. The WBC actually ordered Jaime Munguia and Luca Planet to fight, but y'all know how that works. Iglesias is fighting for the vacant IBF. They're in negotiations. He's gonna face the Russian fighter Sanyani. Jamal Charlo. Y'all know the routine and that inactivity. Beg the Bully will be back in February. He's gonna fight Sena Beckel, but he's number 1 and mandatory in the WBO. Saying like Caleb Plant, I'm not sure. He was at the Zuffa boxing event. I don't know if he's gonna sign. I don't know, but he turned down the rematch clause to face Jose Resendez, so I'm not sure what's next for him. So a lot of willing and dealing at 168 for sure. So yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen. 168. Middleweight, Carlos Adames is still champion. So he had to pull out his fight with Ammo last week. So Ammo still was able to fight, so that's a good thing. So we'll see. They say he was sick. I don't know if that means he was struggling to make the weight and he got sick, and then he needed to move up to 168. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if he goes to 68, he can fight for a title right away. We'll see. We have an interim champion, Jesus Ramos. So it's interesting that they did that, to do an interim champion when your champion is kind of active, right? So I'm not sure. Yeah, I think I can see them doing Jesus Ramos and Carlos Adames next. I can see Jesus Ramos fighting somebody else. Like it's a lot of things they can do with having these interim titles and stuff like that. So it would make sense for them to just consolidate. You know what I'm saying? But y'all know how this is. We have a number 1 mandatory, the Sultanov. He's been mandatory for a hot minute. I think the end of 2023 or 2024, one of them. But he was supposed to fight Adamas, and look like the WBC is just sitting on that. So I don't know. They got Ammo at number 3. Hopefully Ammo get some type of title shot. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't his fault that the guy pulled out. And he lost his position as the mandatory in the IBF. So when he went to fight for the WBC, he lost his position. So he got to start over, or at least get something bigger. Yo Hernandez, he's a good fighter, probably one of the best fighters in this division. They haven't decided what they're gonna do with Janibek, and that's like a big domino effect because he got two titles, and once they become vacated, then we'll have like another clearer picture of who's gonna fight for those belts. But number 5, Olaha is in the mix to fight for it. We seen Sergey Bogachuk last week on Zuffa, but of course he probably ain't campaigning there. Troy Isley, number 8. Troy Isley feels like a Zuffa boxer to me. He don't got no motion right now since Top Rank. Him and Top Rank split ways, and I don't see a lot of promotion companies that's coming knocking on his door. So he might have to go holler at Zuffa boxing and get into that middleweight situation that they got going on. Bogachuk just beat Batayev. That was a good fight. So maybe he can get in the mix and get one of those guys. maybe even fight Jaleel Hackett, who got a fight at 160. Zuffa boxing don't do junior middleweight division, junior divisions and super divisions. It's a regular 8, so the original 8. So that's what's up. Vito Melnicki Jr. He got a fight date coming up on ProBox. That's April the 11th. So y'all tap in with that. He just signed with Samson Boxing. So yeah, so he's gonna headline his own show in New Jersey. Mike in the building, what's good with you? Jahad Tucker, Amari Jones, yeah, that's dope. I heard Amari Jones was gonna fight. What's the dude's name? Luis Arias. That would have been like a easy fight for him, in my opinion. But yeah, Jahad Tucker and Jahad Tucker and Amari Jones is a good fight. It's a good fight. Did you see Jahad Tucker in that video when the Haney's and Tiger got into it? That shit was. I was laughing at him. That shit was wild. The WBC champion at 154, Sebastian Fundora, he's going to reschedule his fight with Keith Thurman March 28th. They had that press conference today, and this is a fight I think Fundora can win for sure. Let's see what Keith Thurman has left. We have the WBC interim champion Virgil Ortiz. He's taking a big media hit because of the it looked like failed negotiations between him and Boots. But it's been quiet lately though, so hopefully that's a good sign. But it's a lot of bullshit going on. He's suing Oscar, Oscar's suing him. Oscar, they trying to take his his headquarters at the building that he working out of in L.A. He owed money to L.A. or some. It's crazy shit going on. You know what I'm saying? And that shit might derail the fight that we need in boxing. Boots versus Virgil. We need that. We got a new unified champion in this division. Xander Zayas, WBO and WBA. Josh Kelly is the new IBF champion, so the division keeps moving and turning and changing by the minute. Number one contender, Bakari Samaki. He's going to fight an eliminator against number 4, Emil Harjabi from Albania. He's a southpaw. I've seen him fight a few times. Pretty solid. I like Samaki though. He's an athletic fighter, rangy, and can punch. Bakram into the new rankings at number 5. You know, so after losing his title, that's not a bad spot. Majimov is number 6. Tim Tszyu number 7. So let's see what Tim Tszyu look like. Tim Tszyu and his team is pushing to go down the WBO route. They became look. They got history with the WBO. I know this WBC, but they got history with the WBO. They basically forced the WBO to strip Jamel Charlo when he fought Canelo. So they got history. So they might be in the mandatory position. They number 2 with the WBO. Let me see who got some coming. Abbas Baru, they coming in number 10. He can bounce back. Like these guys in the top 15, they can round robin. It'd be some good fights too. Abbas Baru versus Charles Conwell, fire. Andres Kakarakis versus any of those guys, good fight. Rashidi Ellis, all these guys can mix and match. You know what I'm saying? They can mix and match. That's what I like to see. That's why they should just go to Zuffa boxing and everybody fight each other. Shit. I like that shit. That's one thing I do like though. If they can get the fighters, they gonna fight. So all these good fighters we see in these divisions, if they was over there, they'd be fighting. So it'd be like 4 versus 5, 10 versus 11, so on and so forth. And that makes for good fights. So y'all know how this boxing shit is. They might not look. I'm gonna tell y'all this little sidebar. Once like none of these top promoters, American promoters, have a deal right now. So once the fighter contracts start to run out, because they owe fighters a certain amount of fights a year, and once they can't fulfill that, they're gonna be going to Zuffa. It's gonna be like a mass exodus. Everybody is gonna pick up and bounce over there. Why? Because Zuffa Boxing got the biggest network deal for the next couple of years. They got over $1 billion with Paramount. They got bread, so you're gonna be on TV, and they promoting the fighters, and they treating them well. So y'all gonna see. That's the thing. It's gonna take some time because it's gonna take some time, but they gonna get there. They might tighten up. You know what I'm saying? Tighten up. Teaching the building was good. I gotta catch this on playback. I appreciate it, bro. Yes, sir. It's all good. Appreciate it. Winston Lee was good. Salute to you, bro. We got welterweight. Mario Barrios is defending his WBC title against Ryan Garcia, February 21st. They got a good card too. I like that card. Hitchens and Duarte, Russell, Gary Antoine Russell versus Andy Hirako, Frank Martin versus Nahir Albright, Bank the Bully. Good card. So yeah, let's see. Let's see if Barrios gonna have the fire this time, because when he fought Pacquiao, he showed no fire. And I guess he started at the end of the fight, he started to fight hard just to get a draw. So yeah, let's see. And Ryan got a second chance to fight for a world title. So y'all know how that works. Conor Benn is number 1. He's supposed to get the winner. So I know they are talking about making Conor Benn versus Rolly. So I'm not sure if they're gonna make it happen. Maybe they can make it shake, but they are in talks. But he definitely, if he don't get that Rolly fight, he's definitely in position to fight for the WBC for sure. Suleiman Sissoko should be the mandatory, but he got bumped down. You know what I'm saying? He got a low profile name, and Conor Ben, he leapfrogged him. Manny Pacquiao, not sure what he's gonna do. Real Coriel, I like to see him in the mix. Like this, another division. Welterweight got a lot of just guys in the mix. I see Arnold Barbosa. He's at welterweight now. Like put these guys in the mix. Even Brian Norman, they can run phase. These are good fights. Coriel, Jack Catterall, Igis Kavalauskas still can punch. Norman, Stanionis. Look, bro, there's some good fights to be made. Karen Shikazian, Liam Paro about to fight for the IBF title. So I'm telling, like, don't let them lie to y'all when they say divisions are trash. Because when you look at these names and you can imagine the matchups, it's good fights. Rohan Polanco, if he's good to go, it'd be a fun fight with anybody. Tiger Johnson ain't it. Well, he's number 20, but he in the mix. It's good fights. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people only look at the divisions by the big names. I look at the division by possible good matchups. You feel what I'm saying? I'd rather have 15 good fighters than 3 great fighters and everybody else is like C plus. You know what I'm saying? That shit don't. I'd rather that shit be like I take all B's and maybe a couple of C's. You know what I'm saying? That sounds like my report card back in the day. All right, Dalton Smith is the WBC champion at 140. Great performance against Subriel Matisse, taking his title. Knocked him out in the 5th round. Salute to him. He has Alberto Playo next. They're in negotiations to make that fight. Pitbull Cruz is the interim champion. So Pitbull Cruz is in a good spot too because a lot of guys want to fight him because he brings a fan base with him. You know what I'm saying? The Mexicans going to come on and support and casual fans, for sure. And he's been proven to be a solid draw because, you know what I'm saying, just after the Tank fight, he kind of just blew up a little bit, fighting on undercards and, getting the loudest cheers on the card. So, yeah, I can see Pitbull back in another big fight for sure. 140 is a good division. It's super hot right now. We got Shakur Stevenson, Richardson Hitchens, Antoine Russell, Dalton Smith. So those 4 champions is probably the best 4. I don't know, I got to do my research. But out of all the divisions that have 4 champions, 140 might be the best. Think about that shit. Yeah. I think they might be the best 4 because Hitchens and Stevenson, one of the best, two of the best boxers in the game. Gary Antoine Russell, I love his game, how aggressive he is. Then he mixed it with skills, and then Dalton Smith, the up and coming guy, he stopped Matisse when nobody else could. So it's a good division with a lot of solid names as well. You know what I'm saying? So good stuff. So Sando Martin, I'm not sure what's next for him. He seemed like a solid name. They got Matisse at number 3. Belasanov, I like him from Canada. Southpaw, he's good. Teofimo is at number 5. Keyshawn Davis, 6. Delgado is the IBF mandatory for Hitchens. So if all these guys kind of stay at 140 and fight each other, it's some good fights. Pierce O'Leary is facing Mark Chamberlain in March. That's a good fight right there, too. John Fernandez got a European title fight coming up. Adam Azam, he'll probably reschedule his fight with Gustavo Limos. Both guys got hurt. Look at Frank Martin down at number 15. Kenny Sam. So, bro, 140 is like that, too. It's a lot of these divisions actually is better than what you think if we can get these guys to fight. That's a big ass if too. All right, keep it moving. So this is the biggest news of these rankings. The WBC stripped Shakur Stevenson because he didn't pay his sanctioning fee for his fight with Teofimo, and y'all like, why? What happened? The belt wasn't on the line. The WBO was, but they wanted their sanction fee, which is crazy to me. So them stripping him, I guess, take the belt, I guess, and that to me that's crazy. Now narratives gonna come. They're gonna say Shakur Duck and Shockey Foster. Well, Shockey Foster gave up his WBC interim title at lightweight, but they're gonna throw that in the mix. They're gonna say all types of shit. But that the way the WBC just did, that's definitely on them. You know what I'm saying? Because normally they give guys at least a week or two to decide which division they want to campaign in. I'm glad that they ain't stripped my girl Michaela Mayer. You know what I'm saying? When she won the vacant WBC at 154, but she vacated her WBO at 54 to keep her WBC, her title at her WBO at 147. So they're gonna do what they want to do with their belt. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna do what they want to do. If they're gonna strip him because he didn't pay sanction fee for a fight that they didn't have no involvement with, it is what it is. So they move on. We have an interim champion, Yadier Herrera. He just picked that up. That's Stephen Fulton's belt. It was created for him, and it is what it is. He had a comeback win over Ricardo Nunes. So let's see what they do for him. Like I said, with these vacant titles, I don't mind seeing if they're not going to elevate the champion. I wouldn't mind seeing a tournament to crown the new champion. I think that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? It would shut the fans up for calling anybody an email champion, for one. And then these guys are still borderline fringe contenders prospects. So it's like them fighting a little mini tournament don't hurt, and there's more fights for boxing fans. I always like that idea. Even with the WBA, I just like that idea. You know what I'm saying? Because you got guys that win eliminators and they get leapfrogged by the bigger name guys. You feel what I'm trying to say? So yeah, I can see them making Zepeda versus Herrera. I can see that. That's a good fight too. I think yeah, I think Golden Boy would jump on that for sure. Golden Boy would jump on that. But then again, I don't know where Zepeda at. Zepeda been real quiet. So I'm not sure how would they make. I mean, that would be a good fight. That'd be interesting. Lamont Rose Jr. is right there. He's cleared the fight. The doctor cleared him. He got two routes. You know what I'm saying? He can go to WBC and the WBA. He's the big name over there. So I can see him fighting for the vacant title. Definitely after the Pitbull fight. You know what I'm saying? He did some promotional stuff with the WBC while he was down in Texas. So maybe they showing favor for Lamont Roach. We'll have to see. Andy Cruz, they say he's going back to 130, but if he get an opportunity, I'm not mad at it. You know what I'm saying? Sam Noakes, like, what's wrong with a little quick 4-man tournament? You know what I'm saying? It don't matter who you put. Pick from the top 5 and add Herrera in there. Herrera, Zepeda, Roach, Andy Cruz, Sam Noakes. Throw them all in the. I don't know, bro. That shit sounds simple to me, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe even don't rule out a Shockey Foster creeping back up to lightweight, and then they're gonna have the narrative that Shakur left because he knew he was coming back and all that shit. But don't forget when y'all listen to these narratives, Shockey Foster was given 10 days to decide which belt he wanted to keep. He got 10 days. Shakur didn't, and he chose to keep the 130 title. He didn't. He didn't choose to keep the interim title. Had he would have kept it, he might have got elevated because he a two division. It'd be like a 2 division champion. So don't fall for that narrative. Y'all guys gonna hear it, but it's on y'all to decipher whatever y'all want to. You think there's a chance Dula goes at the WBC? Um, Not the vacant title. I don't see them doing that for the vacant title. Um, if one of those guys win, then he'll probably, if he can unify, I can see that. But they're not doing a vacant title. I mean, look at the politics behind it. Shakur Stevenson and Abdullah Mason has the same manager, the same team. So they just did Shakur dirty. Now we think they're gonna, you know what I'm saying, throw Abdullah a bone. I'm just saying, I don't see that happening. Abdullah unifying against whoever becomes WBC champion, I'm with that. Or even Raymore Tyler or whatever. But I don't see them throwing no vacant title for him. I don't see that. So let's see what they make, what decision they make. Look at Paul though; he creeping up there. Let me see who else is a solid name. Jordan White, number 12, Albert Bell. So yeah, let's see. I'm always gonna favor a tournament for a vacant title. A little quick 4-man tournament ain't hurt nobody. All right, WBC champion at 130, O'Shaquie Foster. He might be in the mix of that lightweight title too. And we'll see. So I can see a scenario where O'Shaquie Foster move up and fight. Maybe he'll fight Yair Herrera for the title. You know, he's an interim champion. He'll fight O'Shaquie Foster for the vacant title. I can see that. And because Ray Ford is going to fight a WBC eliminator. So they basically playing hopscotch with the belts. You know what I'm saying? So it is, what they do. But I can see that scenario because I honestly I don't see O'Shaquie Foster getting a unification at 130. I don't see it. You know what I'm saying? Top Rank wasn't trying to make a unification with him and Navarrete. So the only one that probably makes sense for him to get is the winner between Kakashi and Jazza Dickens, the WBA. So we'll see. But look, here's a little flip flop though. Mark Masayo was number 1 last month. He was supposed to fight Michael Magnesi. They flip flop. They dropped him down to 3, and they moved Ray Ford up to 2. Magnesi number 1. So if you're looking at this, it's basically telling us that maybe Ray Ford and Magnesi may fight a final eliminator. We'll have to see what O'Shaquie Foster does because he could move up to 35, keep his belt, and then they can fight for the interim. You know, they just flip flopping this shit. Like Pop said on Vampire in Brooklyn, they flip flopping. So it is what it is. I'm just saying to share the news with y'all. That's it. We got Ryan Gardner in the mix as well. Mark Masayo, he might be a Zuffa boxing. He might be on the Zuffa boxing team. I don't know. Y'all stay tuned. Andres Cortez might be over there too. I seen him mingling with Dana White. Golem, he's fighting the WBA eliminator. Let me see. Robson Conceal, Yakubal, Gary Russell. Look, let's see if Gary Russell can make one more run. One more run, yo. You know, I be like hoping and praying that he can get more than one fight a year, but that shit's crazy as hell. Oscar Valdez is a free agent. He might find his way over to Zuffa. I don't know what Oscar might do because Oscar is the end of his career, and he really don't have a lot of options for real. And they don't have 130 over there, so he gonna have to go up to either have to drop down to 26 or go up to 35. Man, that might be dangerous for him at 35. Oscar Valdez. Oh look, my guy Josh Pally at number 15. Yes, sir. Yo, he gave Shakur Bell fighting the Teofimo on there. All right, 126, we got a new champion, Bruce Shushu Carrington. Ray Vargas is champion in recess. Ray Vargas is supposed to be Bruce Carrington's mandatory. Let's see if that fight actually happened. I like Shushu's energy. I love his performance and the way he won that world title. That was dope. And that he called out the other champions, which that's what you're supposed to do. If it's a perfect world, him and Nick Ball, and Nick Ball's facing Figueroa this weekend. They on the same schedule. They fought a week apart. That should be the next fight. And then do Leo versus Espinoza, unification. And then the winners fight. If I had my pick, I would do a ring card with those fights. You know what I'm saying? That'd be the bracket, bro. Run that shit. Guarantee you have to fight. This is an undisputed 4-man tournament. You know what I'm saying? The winner of this will be guaranteed to get the anyway fight. bro, run that shit, bro. You know, this is what I'm just speaking for myself. Maybe y'all don't agree. You know what I'm saying? If y'all do, cool. If y'all don't, it's cool too. But I like to see big fights, good fights, competitive fights. If you mix and match any of these champions, like I talked about earlier in the show, which division had like got 4 champions, which division is the best? This one up there too. We got 4 good champions. You know what I'm saying? All of them different dimensions, different dynamics. Imagine a tournament like that. All titles on the line, and we running this unification to undisputed. I don't know. Tell Turkey. Let me get the bread for a year, 6 months, 6 months to a year. Man, I have all the best fights for the boxing fans. I have y'all like, damn, yo, Eldo, we on some other shit. Yes, sir. We gonna have all the big time fights. Fucking with me. But yeah, yo, let's see. I think Ray Vargas might get his opportunity though. You know what I'm saying? Nathan Collins and Lorente is supposed to run it back in an eliminator. Omar Trinidad is number 3, but he's due for boxing, so not sure. Got Neri, Picasso. Picasso at 126. Okay. Picasso at 126. Y'all see that? Joette still up in there. Michael Collins still around, kicking. Komatov. Solid guys. Liam Davies, he's going to face Zach Miller coming up March 28th. Carlos Castro dropped down to number 14. So it's still some smoke in the city at 126. You know, these guys just buying their time and trying to get in position. 122, so the Monster Inoue gonna fight Junto Nakatani. That's a big fight. Let's get it. And I want to see him make his debut at featherweight. If he get past Junto, anyway, gotta go to featherweight. And he got some big fights too. He can do Shushu in New York City, bring out the Japanese. He can do something with Nick Ball. He can do something with all of them. Like, look, he be in a good position. He got some fights. He got some good fights for him. They can solidify him even more as a pound for pound star. So let's see what happens with him and John too. We got some notable guys: Tapalis, Mercado, pretty solid fighters. Cardenas, I like Cardenas though. Salute to him. I like how he elevated his game after losing to Inoue. I like that. I wouldn't mind saying Cardenas against anybody in this division. That's Cardenas versus Sebastian Hernandez, bro. Fire. You know what I'm saying? Even Sam Goodman. Like, it's some good fights to be made. Shabazz Masood, Nishida, former world champion. He about to fight an eliminator coming up. MJ been quiet since he lost to Anyway. So, Arturo Cardenas. He just popped in number 14. He's with Robert Garcia, so he's making his way up the rankings. He's fighting on February 28th on that Sugar Nunez and Navarrete card. So that's pretty solid stuff right there. All right, 118. He said, "A great idea, bro." I'm telling you, bro. Look, let me tell Turkey. Let me get the bag for a year. Yo, we have all types of fights. I ain't trying to destroy nobody's career. I'm talking about guys that's ready. I only want to do championship fights and contenders. I don't want to mess with the prospects. Let me get hold of that featherweight division. I'll take the featherweight division. Yeah, featherweight. Give me some of that. Give me some of that. I take welterweight too, low key. I take welterweight. Yeah, I take featherweight and welterweight. Just give me 2. I had that shit cracking. Just do boxing. What's good with you, bro? Salute to you. Yes, sir. Let me get the bag, Turkey. I'm telling you. Just give me featherweight then. Just give me featherweight. Let me do an all featherweight card. I had that shit popping for sure. All right, Tacoma Anyway, WBC champion. He's gonna fight Ioka. Ioka is attempting to be a 5-division world champion. And I think he's a borderline future Hall of Famer too. So they working on that fight. It should be, from what I remember, it's gonna be on the Monster Inoue and Juntu card. So that's dope. That's dope. Juan Francisco Estrada got something coming up too. Look out for him. He's number one in the WBC and WBO. He's fighting Tenshin Nakasawa. Now that I'm looking at it, they're gonna fight a title eliminator. So yeah, that's what's up. Andrew Kane. Look out for Andrew Kane this weekend. Kind of under the radar fighter, UK fighter. He's in the same training camp as Nick Ball. They damn near fight alike. If you go watch them fight, they damn bulldogs. So he's fighting the eliminator against Alejandro Gonzalez. That should be a solid fight too. Masuda, he's gonna face Nonito Donaire. That's March 15th. That's gonna be fun. That's a dangerous fight for Nonito too. But Nonito got that left hook, bro. He pulled that shit out of nowhere. Let me see. Askui, he's with Probox. Michael Angeletti, Probox. David Cuellar, I remember him. So yeah. So here's the thing about 18, and I'm always say this, and every time I speak on it, everybody's anticipating Bam Rodriguez to come to the division. All right, we got brand new champions in the WBC, IBF, WBO. Bam got one more belt to get at 115. He probably not gonna get it, so he's gonna make his way up to 118 to fight one of the champions. We got one of them fighting this weekend on Friday on Matchroom. Y'all tap in. Now I know when I get down here, you know what I'm saying, attention spans get a little bit short. You know what I'm saying, because we like to hit the popular stuff, but this is be more important because these guys are actually fighting each other, so we don't gotta wait too long. But Christian Medina, he's a newly minted world champion. He beat who he beat? He beat Teke for the belt. He's defending. He's making his first defense on Friday against former champion Adrian Courier. So basically, the winner of that fight is basically punched a ticket for Bam Rodriguez for his first fight at 118. I'm telling y'all, pay attention now. Matchroom just signed Medina. They also have the WBA champion recess, Antonio Vargas. So they signing fighters at 118 so Bam can have somebody to fight when he come up there. So yeah, bro. I know, a lot of these fights we probably it don't catch our attention, but they all have some type of storyline. All of them do. They lead to something, bro. And I just like the story behind that when it leads to something. That's what I'm in here for. All right, 115, Jesse Bam Rodriguez. He's the man right now. One of the best pound for pound fighters. Uh, he look like he's restructured his new deal with Matchroom. So good. Let's see. They talking about bringing him back to San Antonio to make his debut. They're trying to get the IBF champion, Willibardo Garcia. I don't know if that shit gonna happen. Willibardo Garcia, he pulled out the fight with Kenshiro. The IBF gave him an exception to fight Kenshiro. He pulled out the day of the fight. He got sick. A lot of people getting sick the day of the fight too, yo. That shit, what's the fuck going on? There's been like 5 or 6 fighters since December that's pulled out the day of the fight. Interesting. We got Albert Ramirez just pulled out of his fight tomorrow. Carlos Adames pulled out his fight. Rohan Polanco pulled out his fight. What's the other kid? Henry Cedeno pulled out his fight. And then Willibardo Garcia. It may have been more, but that's 5 right there, bro. They pulled out their fight the day of the fight or after the weigh-in. Damn, what's going on? So we'll see though. If Bam can get that IBF, that final title to become undisputed, that'd be a miracle. Because Garcia he ran out of his exemptions with the IBF. The IBF don't fuck around with the mandatories. He have one. Andrew Maloney is a mandatory. And he ain't trying to take step aside money. In a perfect world, he'll take step aside money, fight on the undercard of Bam versus Garcia, and then get promised a fight to fight Bam because those guys have a storyline because Andrew Maloney had a trilogy with Bam's brother, so he can relive that. I don't know. But he's basically losing a lot of bread pursuing the Garcia fight because that fight is probably not worth 100K. Probably not even that. I'm just being generous. But with Bam Rodriguez striking a new deal, you can start. You know what I'm saying? You can start to You can negotiate some shit when he got a bag. He said stop playing Albert too. You talking about Albert Bell? Which one you talking about, bro? So yeah, that's what it is. Um, good fighters right here though. So Boo, he's that guy that got like 4 fights. Kenshiro fight the IBF eliminator against number 3, Ricardo Maklajecki. That's a good ass fight. That Ricardo kid can fight. He gonna outbox Kenshiro. He about to tighten up. Kuri, he got a fight coming up too. I forgot who he gonna fight. Maloney, boom. There it is. 115 still solid too. 112, Ricardo Sandoval. Oh, that's who he said. My man said he's gonna fight. What's his name? He said Ramirez. Ramirez got sick too. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with these dudes getting sick day and week of the fight. I get it though. One of my ideas was when them dudes went to New York, it was cold as fuck up there, and they training in Vegas and Mexico, Puerto Rico. So the climate changed. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure. You know what I'm saying? He said, "Which Ramirez?" I don't remember, but I know a bunch of them dudes got sick. Uh, okay, Sandoval. So Sandoval, he supposed to fight Galaliafy, but I'm not sure. I think my man said he gonna fight Akui. I think Togas told me that. But nevertheless, I like Sandoval. I like to see Sandoval fight on the undercard of Benavidez and Zerto. I think that'd be dope. I think it would make sense. It would make sense too for them to fight. For him to fight because he's a Golden Boy fighter like Zerto, so he should be able to get on that card. But him and Galaliafy is a good fight too. But I think Galaliafy is damaged. That fight he had against Francisco Rodriguez, test positive, that took a couple of fights off his career, diminished him. Takumi, I like him. He's gonna be fighting for a world title, back fighting for a world title. Former champion, moving up in weight. So he'll be in the mix as well. Cordova, let me see. Velasquez, Sergio Mendoza is fighting for the IBF title at 108 pounds, but they got him ranked here. So it's some stuff. It's some still smoke. All these divisions got some smoke if they fight each other, for real. uh, so we got Niall Strong, CP Freshmart. He's a WBC champion. They got Carlos Gonzalez, champion in recess because he can't leave his country. He's from Venezuela. They got like flight. They can't fly out of there. So he's champion in recess. Now Armstrong is going to defend his WBC title against Awata. That's a good fight. Awata just lost his title last year to Rene Santiago. He got another opportunity. It's a voluntary defense. The mandatory is Eric Badilio, fights on Pro Box. Pretty fun fighter. So yeah. Then in this division, you got another Puerto Rican unified champion, Rene Santiago. He's salute to him. He had a great year. He went to Japan twice and beat 2 Japanese fighters on the road. Salute. He got the title, then he went back and unified. That's dope. And then Sim Street is the IBL champion from Thailand. He's going to fight Mendoza, Sergio Mendoza. That's a tough ass fight. Sergio Mendoza is one of the best young fighters in boxing that y'all don't know. Maybe some of the hardcore fans do. Salute to y'all too. I don't want to disrespect y'all knowledge. I'm just saying. I'm just talking about the normal folks that talk boxing. They don't talk about. They ain't gonna talk. They're not gonna tell you about him. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. I got you covered. All right, 108 pounds. No, 105 pounds. So last one. We got Melvin Jerusalem, WC champion, 2-time champion. Looking like he's going to attempt to unify with Oscar Collazo. I say attempt because they fought before and Collazo stopped them in the 6th round body shot. So now it got bigger stuff at stake. Collazo is a unified champion, WBO, WBA, and they're going to attempt to unify with the WBC champion. Maybe they, looking like Marge in Puerto Rico. Let's see. Alta Collazo just linked up with Bad Bunny, same manager that Xander Zayas linked up with. So let's see. And they put on a big show. If being linked to Bad Bunny gonna have 12K, you know what I'm saying, in Puerto Rico, bro, that's a good move for sure. So yeah, look out for that one. So yeah, man, that's it. You know, the biggest thing, we're gonna go back to it real quick and just speak on it before we close it out. Salute to everybody coming through the building. I appreciate the time. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, we go back to lightweight with Shakur Stevenson being stripped of the title. And just my thoughts again. Just to reiterate, like the WBC is doing what they do, and I don't know if it's right. I don't understand it to say it's right or wrong, but I just feel like I thought if the title is on the line, then you don't have to pay no sanction fee. That's what I thought. You feel what I'm trying to say? Because he fought in a whole new division and he fought for the WBO in an attempt to be great. And then he was all Shakur was saying, "Bro, I'm gonna go back to 35." So if we going back to 35, I feel like they jumped the gun on this. It's kind of weird to me because you didn't give a guy time to even say. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. It seemed like some vindictive shit because based on the affiliation with Crawford and Shakur. Maybe he trying to get some payback. I don't know, but it's weird. So, but it's an opportunity for somebody else to fight for the vacant WBC title, whether it's O'Shaquie Foster, Yadier Herrera, Lamont Roach, you know, all these guys. So Williams Zepeda, #1, Sam Noakes. I would like to see him get another opportunity. Asana, he's fighting next. He's fighting tomorrow. Dimitri, I think he's fighting tomorrow. Hell yeah, hold on. Let me double check some shit. I love this type of shit though. This like when I be looking at the rankings, yeah, he fighting tomorrow. That's some dope ass shit right there. Yes, sir. So his fight is got even more important. He's #4. He's a French guy that a lot of people ain't tapped into, but he fights up there in Canada with Eye of the Tiger. Pretty solid fighter, you know what I'm saying? He's good. He's up and coming. Dimitri Asanu. Yeah, he's fighting tomorrow, so he has to win to maintain his WBC Continental of America's title. And he can look. It's a possibility he'll be in the mix. You know what I'm saying? You never know with the sanction bodies, so it is what it is. Salute to everybody coming through the building, though. I appreciate the time. Like I said, make sure you tap on that like button, subscribe if you haven't. Yes, sir. Teach, yo, appreciate you, bro. Um, yeah, we'll be back real soon. We're gonna talk about this fight week. You know what I'm saying? It's not real crazy. It's definitely not like it was last week. Last week was everywhere. This week a little bit tamed off. The biggest fight we got this week is Nick Ball versus Brandon Figueroa, B Figgy. So we're gonna touch on that. We're gonna talk about the card in Canada. We lost Albert Ramirez. Yeah, you said that. Yeah. Ramirez got sick too. Oh my bad, bro. I'm tripping. Yeah. Ramirez got sick too. No, he had appendicitis. Appendicitis. Well, same shit. You sick, but he had appendicitis, and that's not a smart move to fight with that. So yeah, bro, you right. I had to think a little bit, bro. Y'all have to excuse me a little bit. But what else we got? Oh, we got the Matchroom show on Friday from Mexico. I was talking about Christian Medina being a possible opponent for Ben Rodriguez. So I like those little nuggets. I like to share those because it gives boxing fans a reason to watch. If you might not know the guy, might not be familiar. If you know that, hey, he might fight Bam in his next fight, and then we can go ahead. Well, for me, I gotta speak for myself. I can go ahead and get the tape rolling and get my, you know what I'm saying. I can already see the guy, and I can judge on what I think gonna happen. So we'll see. Like I said, salute to everybody coming through. I appreciate the time, and I'm out.